Okay. Well, actually, today I have something interesting to watch, so let's watch it together. But before watching, I want to ask you a question. Which
Okay.
city in the world is the best city to live, you think?
Yeah. Mhm. West.
Yeah, what
Sorry.
city in the
What
world, can be
in the
the
world?
best city, of course, in the world, can be the best city to live?
Mm, which city? Mm. Okay. For my opinion, maybe yeah. Tokyo or Osaka.
You're
Sorry,
right.
I just know. I
Yeah,
just
you're right.
know.
You're right,
I
of
don't know
course.
other city.
Yeah, of course,
Yeah.
but the best city.
Mm.
Of course, the Tokyo is one of the best cities in the world. But actually,
Yeah.
there are some reasons. Just you need to say, in my opinion.
Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
we're gonna watch a video about top 10 cities around the world
Okay.
to live, the best cities, and then
Okay.
we're going to talk about them, why, the reasons that actually why are they the best cities to live, okay? So, and
Okay.
why are they famous, and
Okay.
something like this. Ready?
Okay. Okay.
So let me share the screen. Okay.
Research found that 82% of locals view Tokyo as a prime 2021. Are you a fan of our videos? Be sure to subscribe to Mojo Travels and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos. For this list, we'll be looking at the most energetic, cultured, welcoming, and resilient cities across the globe. Our ranking comes from the 2021 Time Out Index, which gathered insight from over 27,000 participants in the midst of the pandemic. Number 10. Tokyo, Japan. As is the case with many bustling cities, Tokyo is best experienced on foot or through public transportation. No car required. Time Out's research found that 82% of locals view Tokyo as a prime location for exploration and discovery. Despite the pandemic, numerous attractions have cropped up in the past year and a half. The Olympics, in particular, had all eyes on Tokyo, serving as a beacon of hope, victory, and community. There are numerous traditions that come with the Tokyo experience, from dining on the world's finest sushi, to catching a sumo wrestling match, to shopping in the famed Ginza district. From there, you can make your way to the Nipponbashi district, which has reinvented itself as of late into one of Tokyo's trendiest spots for food and culture. Kabutocho was most notably declared as Tokyo's coolest neighborhood in 2020. Number 9. Porto, Portugal. Portugal's second largest city, Porto also ranks among the friendliest cities in the world. According to Time Out, 73% of locals praised Porto for its sense of culture. The city is packed with sites that'll trigger inspiration, including the bell tower of Clerigoris Church, the gardens of the Crystal Palace, and Dom Luís I Bridge, which links Porto to Vila Nova de Gaia. For avid readers, Livraria Lelo is a bookstore right out of a fantasy novel. Even if you're not a bookworm, anyone can appreciate the bookstore's architecture, especially the red forked staircase.
Dreaming big is what we do. Brewing the world's most loved beer.
Porto's cuisine puts the art in culinary art, giving us dishes like francesinha, a meaty sandwich draped in cheese. It's the ideal meal to split with a good friend. Or maybe you'll share it with a new friend while visiting. Porto has that effect on people. Number 8. Tel Aviv, Israel. Politics aside, when it comes to fun, Tel Aviv has come out on top for the second consecutive year. Time Out found that over 80% of locals would describe the city as fun, and even more feel they're free to express themselves. Dizengoff Square brings together a wide range of people for an assortment of activities. The city's fun nature and diverse background are both reflected through the square's multicolored fire and water fountain. There are even more colors of the rainbow to be found at Tel Aviv's beaches, nightclubs, and the huge Pride Parade. Carmel Market will not only ignite your sense of sight, but also taste and smell with its array of fruits and spices. Cap off your trip by visiting the Museum of Art, which hosts various masterpieces from the early 20th century. Number 7. Prague, Czech Republic. 82% of participants told Time Out that they think Prague is the world's most beautiful city. Their data also found it to be the second most relaxing city, which you can tell simply by gazing at any neighborhood. From the Charles Bridge to Old Town Square, every inch of Prague would look pitch perfect on a postcard. The best way to see it all is on foot, as almost 90% of residents enjoy commuting without a car. You're also bound to find some folks cycling through the city. Prague goes by many different names, although the city of 100 spires perhaps best represents its endless splendor. Actually, some sources estimate that Prague has somewhere around 1,000 towers, which is all the more reason to visit this golden city. Number 6. Montreal, Canada. We're not surprised that more than 70% of residents highlighted Montreal as a diverse city where one can easily express yourself. In addition to its people, Montreal's diversity extends to its food and locales. While Montreal can tackle virtually any dish, we'd recommend a breakfast of bagels, a smoked meat sandwich for lunch, and whatever you have for dinner, make sure there's a plate of poutine on the side. To work off your meals, explore all the sights Montreal has to offer. When the winter season hits, seek refuge from the cold in the various venues that make up the underground city. And definitely hike up Mount Royal to get a stunning view of downtown. Whatever time of year you visit, you'll always feel welcome in Montreal. Number 5. New York, United States. New York is without a doubt one of the most iconic cities in the world. When the pandemic hit, however, this cornucopia of activity essentially transformed overnight. It's been a long road to recovery, but the past year and a half has once again proven how unbreakable New Yorkers are when united. New York has adapted with initiatives like the Open Restaurants program, making outdoor dining all the rage. We don't see why you'd want to be cooped up anyway, as New York is an urban playground calling out to be explored. With 85% of locals calling it the most exciting city, you never know what awaits traveling on the subway and strolling through Central Park. As Broadway stages a comeback, it's like New York is getting a second act after an extended intermission. Number 4. Copenhagen, Denmark. Denmark is no stranger to the World Happiness Report, regularly making appearances on the list and some years even topping it. If you only have one day to spend in Denmark, spend it in the capital of Copenhagen. Aside from spreading happiness, 66% of residents describe the city as relaxing, while 82% cited how easy it is to find something new and exciting. Few landmarks epitomize this better than the Nyhavn waterfront with its cheerful colors and soothing harbor view. The vibrant architecture and outgoing people make Copenhagen feel like a fairy tale brought to life. That's fitting, seeing how one of the boulevards is named after Hans Christian Andersen. You will never want your visit to end. Number 3. Manchester, England. Based on Time Out's research, Manchester comes out on top in several areas, including friendliness, community spirit, and nightlife. 71% of residents describe the city as creative, which we can definitely see through its numerous museums, theaters, and architectural marvels. Whether you're observing pieces at the Whitworth Art Gallery or listening to a street musician, inspiration lurks around every corner. The Northern Quarter is arguably the chief creative hub, with an emphasis on alternative and bohemian ideals. The definition of trendy, every dining experience in this part of town is an unforgettable one. Polls also highlighted how open Manchester is to expression, which is reflected through the city's LGBTQ+ community as well. The Manchester Pride Festival even made a comeback in 2021, which is something we all needed. Number 2. Amsterdam, Netherlands. If you're looking to spend your vacation somewhere green, look no further than Amsterdam. According to almost 90% of locals, there's more than enough space for nature walks. You can also experience Amsterdam on a boat tour. With a vast collection of canals, Amsterdam has been described as the Venice of the North. Or maybe you'd rather cruise through the streets on a bike. Of all the green spaces in Amsterdam, Vondelpark captures the great outdoors at its purest. It's a magnet for culture as well, with the open-air theater hosting music and dance performances. While you'll spend much of your trip outside, you'll also want to venture inside the Van Gogh Museum and Anne Frank House to soak up just a fraction of Europe's rich, if often deeply troubled, history. For a mix of history and innovation, there's the Nemo Science Museum. Green, cultured, and fun, Amsterdam has it all. Before we get to our top pick, here are the next 5 runners-up. Los Angeles, United States. Chicago, United States. London, United Kingdom. Barcelona, Spain. Melbourne, Australia. Number 1. San Francisco, United States. What exactly is it that makes a city the best in the world? Well, there's culture, creativity, and community, all of which San Francisco has to the max. San Francisco simply excels when it comes to progress. Northern California is one of the leading tech hubs in the nation, and San Fran has one of the most vibrant and prominent LGBTQ+ scenes in the world. Even since the pandemic hit, San Francisco has continued to make remarkable strides. SF New Deal's $1 million investment in small business is just one example. People often think of big city life as every person for themselves. When you're in San Francisco, though, you're part of something greater. The Golden Gate Bridge might be the most iconic sight, but it's the people that make San Francisco, well, San Francisco. Do you agree with our picks? Check out.
Well, okay, so let me stop sharing. Okay, well, let's talk. Okay, tell me, do you remember? Top 10.
Just a bit. Yeah. Top 10.
I
Okay.
made notes.
Oh,
Okay, okay, so as you mentioned, the last one, actually number 10 was Tokyo. And do you remember
Tokyo.
actually, yeah, what actually is Tokyo famous for?
Food, right?
Yeah, of course, food, and you don't need to have car.
Yes, the transportation is
Of
very
course, public
good.
transportation, of
Public
course.
transport.
Yeah,
Yeah.
very good. Number 9,
Number 9, Porto.
Porto, of course. And
Porto.
why? Do you remember?
Porto. Porto.
Let me help.
Yes,
Meals,
please.
meals, of course, meals, and different meals,
Meal.
different attractions, and of
Yeah.
course, sense of culture. So,
Culture. Yeah.
yeah, of course. And the next one, 8, I
The
don't
next one.
know. Yeah, I don't know the city. Is Tel Aviv?
Yeah, the first time Tel Aviv.
Tel
Israel,
Aviv.
right?
Yeah, of course. And why? What is it famous for?
Israel. Israel.
Okay, so let
Oh,
me say,
no.
of course, for fun nature, and of course, diverse backgrounds. It means, different
That's
people, different
right.
backgrounds. Yeah, of course. And something special, Museum of Art. This really
Museum of Art,
important,
yeah.
of course,
Okay.
attraction. And 7,
7, Prague.
Prague. Why?
Prague. Or the buildings.
This
Oh,
is
no.
buildings. I don't think
Buildings.
so. Okay, so of course that is really important that you know the name of cities. Okay, I can help. So that is second most relaxing city in the world. Most relaxing city.
Most
Yeah,
relaxing.
that's correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, and we have number 6.
Montreal.
Yeah, of course.
Montreal.
Yeah. Do you remember anything about Montreal?
Montreal. Oh,
The most significant was food. You can actually
food.
have different meals, different foods, of course, dishes.
Food.
So Montreal can be the city of food.
Montreal.
Okay.
Yeah.
And number 5,
By New York. New
of
York.
course. And why?
Uh, museum. Museum.
Yeah, of course. Let me say something about New York. Actually, this city is a cosmopolitan city. Do you know the meaning of cosmopolitan? Cosmopolitan. Let me, let me share the screen.
This
Okay, just give me a moment to share and write on the board. Okay, this is a cosmopolitan city. Okay.
Yeah.
Of course,
Cosmopolitan city. Yeah.
of
Yes.
course, contain lots of people from all around the
Yes.
world. So we say cosmopolitan city. Okay, and for example, when you go to New York, actually, you can see Chinese people, you can see, for example, French, yeah, of course, all people, Vietnamese, maybe, of course, something that European. Okay, so you can see people all around the world, and actually, that makes the city really interesting. Different cultures, different people, of course. And so it's really unique and iconic city. I love it, but it's really crowded, and that is really, I think, expensive. So
Yeah.
yeah. Okay, number 4.
Number 4, Copenhagen.
Yeah, of course. And why? Denmark, of course, we know Denmark.
Denmark. Yeah.
Best
Denmark.
place in the world.
But
Happiness.
nature.
Of course.
Happiness. Yeah. Yeah. It seems that nature is very
Of course.
beautiful.
Happiness, relaxing, and
Happiness,
nature. So that everything is great to live in Denmark.
Yeah.
And number 3.
Manchester.
Great, very good.
Manchester.
Okay, and why?
Manchester. Why? Manchester.
Actually, it's if actually when it comes to the UK, most cities, not only Manchester, are really creative, historical, and they're really unique. Yeah, so I think actually Manchester is one of them. Of course, it's really creative and with a really great architecture. In the UK,
the
yeah, of
architecture.
course,
Yeah.
it's great, and nightlife, and of course, nightlife is something that we can mention. Number 2.
Number 2, Amsterdam.
Of course. And why not?
Amsterdam.
Why?
So it's very Amsterdam. The river. River.
Okay, so of course the river. Of course, that is really important. Of course,
really
of
important.
course.
Yeah.
We have actually people have lots of space for walking, and that is really important. So good nature, and so that's great. And actually it can be a mix of history and innovation. The city can be okay. And number 1,
San Francisco.
yeah, of course, San Francisco. It's great. And remember anything about it? Why? So we can say when a city is the first, is actually at the first rate of the list. So everything is great about the city. So we don't need to mention everything is great. Weather is great. People are great. So everything is great because this is the first actually, at the top first. So that is really, really, really different. But I think now we have different, we have better cities. I don't know. But of course, San Francisco is great. Depends on.
Uh,
But I really like to live in Tokyo one day. I think it can be
Tokyo.
really. Japan is
Yeah.
actually different, I
Japan.
think. Of course, and Korea, I don't know. Of course, I heard about it. I don't know, but I think South Korea is
South.
really, yeah, of course, yeah, developed, and I think is something like modern. So I think.
Yes.
Have
Yeah.
you ever
Actually,
traveled?
Tokyo travel. Me. No. No.
No.
I don't have time, but yeah. But Tokyo is really a special place.
Yeah, of
It's
course.
very modern, but
Yeah,
very
of
traditional.
course. Yeah, of
Yeah.
course. And okay, well, now let's get started on book after the sweater. Okay, so we talked about, of course, we know topics. So we have some easy words, you know them. So okay. So let's check. Okay. So of course there are some, cities and of course some countries that we know them, so we don't need to think about. Okay, have you ever traveled to Thailand?
Thailand.
Yeah,
Yes. Yes.
yeah. How is it? Is it beautiful? And I don't know, it's green, beautiful. I heard something about Thailand, but I don't know, especially about some islands, something like this. They're really beautiful.
Thailand. Yes. Uh, yes, it's
So,
very, very beautiful.
okay,
Mm,
so
so,
it can be in the list. Okay, so I have lots of destinations. So
yes,
in the future, I will travel to them one by one. Okay,
yes.
well, the first phrase, famous landscape. Okay, would you briefly talk about a famous landscape in your country?
Uh, okay. Maybe Halong Bay. Halong Bay.
Okay, Halong Bay.
Halong Bay. Halong Bay is yes, it's
And
very popular.
what is it? Would you tell me what is it in a mountain, beach, island? What is it?
Halong Bay is mm, Halong Bay is bay. It's so it look like the picture you are
Yeah, of
showing now.
course. There's some island. Yeah, I
Yeah.
got it. Yeah, I got it.
Yeah.
Harbor and some islands. Yeah,
So
I got it. Okay.
and
So,
the scale is really big. I say scale
yeah, I
very
got it. Got it. Okay. Well, the
and
next one. Okay, let's talk about public transportation in
public
Vietnam.
transportation.
Do you normally use
Yeah.
public transportation in Vietnam or or no?
Hmm. Actually, yes, we have public transportation like bus, bus and train.
Mm-hmm.
But basically, uh, everybody drive bicycle, bike.
Yeah.
Yes, and
So is it crowded? So
yes,
because
very
these,
very crowded.
yeah,
So you
very
you you
crowded.
cannot you can't imagine that is the uh traffic jam due
Oh,
to uh due to bicycle.
yeah,
It's
yeah,
very
yeah, I got it.
yeah
So we need
yeah.
to, yeah. And okay, do you have any art museum in your city?
Art museum, art museum. Yes, we have some art museums. Yeah.
Yeah, of course. Do you actually, let me ask you about art museum. So, are you interested in, some museums like art museum, or do you normally visit?
Sorry, once again. In Vietnam, in
Yeah,
Vietnam.
yeah, of course. Do you
No.
normally visit museum, something like art museum, somewhere like, or all the museums? Do you normally visit? Are you interested in?
Uh, Actually, in Vietnam, we have some art museum. We have some museum, but I'm not one. Mm, I don't. I'm not interested in it in Vietnam. When I was in Japan, I went to a museum a lot, but in Vietnam now.
Yeah, so
So it's
when
quite
you,
different. Yeah,
yeah, of course. So when you
yeah.
were in Japan, you used to go
Used
to
to.
the
Yes,
museum, of
I
course.
used to too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
of course, used to go. Very good. Okay, now let me actually ask about people. Of course, as I told you, for example, New York is a cosmopolitan city, so you can see great mix of people, you know?
Yeah.
So do you have the same thing in your country? For example, a city, a cosmopolitan
Yeah.
city.
Yes. Yes. There's some place in Vietnam, but now I'm live in a place with a lot of foreign people
Mhm,
live. So yes, there are many foreign people live here.
mhm. And which countries, for example, Asian countries or European
Country,
or
Asian, Europe, yes,
Mhm.
many. Yes, a lot.
Yeah.
Yes, actually, I live in I'll say the area with the
Mhm.
most of foreign people live here because
Mhm.
other area
Yeah.
it's not let's say we don't have enough say, it's not convenient and
Yeah.
yeah so
Of course, I got it. So actually, you think there are some, actually, is there any, I want to ask you if there is any advantages, advantages or disadvantages,
yeah.
about, I don't know, for example, having mix of people in the city. So what do you think?
Mm, oh yes, I think it's interesting. It's
Mhm.
interesting. Yeah. Mm, I don't have chance to talk with them, but yes, I think it's very
Mhm.
nice to if I have talk with a lot of people.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Yeah, got it.
it's very
And well, different kind of food. Okay, different kinds of
kind of food.
food. So tell me, let me ask you a question about your city. Tell me, what is your city famous for?
Hmm. Uh, Not food, right? And everything is okay, right? Okay. Uh the top, where the mm, the tallest tower in Vietnam. Yeah, I live
Oh,
near.
yeah.
Yeah, it's the same area.
Mhm,
Yeah, so
mhm. So it can be
tallest. Yeah.
skyscraper. So I think it's something like
Yes,
skyscraper.
yes, skyscraper. Yes, right.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, great. And
and
is there anything else?
for food, food. I
Of
think food
course.
is a very because you have many options.
Mm-hmm.
And
Of
yes,
course.
yes,
Course. So, and as I know, as I heard, Vietnam, especially, I don't know, of course, about, I'm not talking about your city or the other cities. I don't have enough
uh,
information. But as I know, Vietnam is really famous for its coffee.
oh, yes, right, right,
Yes.
right,
You
right.
have the
Yes,
best coffee, and we don't.
yes,
Yeah,
yes.
good for
We have
you.
many coffee shop. Yeah, it's very I'll say Vietnamese can go to coffee shop and
Mhm.
sit there all day,
Yeah,
just
really?
talk and yes, yes, really, yes.
Yeah,
Two
great.
or 3 hours is very normal. It's Yes,
Yeah, and there
they
is no time
we
limit.
spend we yes we spend in a coffee shop long
Oh,
time. Yeah,
great. So it's
just
something
good.
different, yeah.
Yes.
And if you don't want to drink or if you don't want to, order, no matter, you can just sit or you need
Oh
to
no,
order.
if you just need order one drink and it's okay. You can sit
Wow,
long time. Yeah,
great. That's really
yeah.
good. Yeah, I like it. Okay,
Coffee shop.
well,
Yeah.
so we'll learn some phrases. Famous landscape, public transportation, art museum, a great mix of people and different kinds of food. Okay, you can say, for example, food or dishes or dish or food, or for example, cuisine, especially for
Cuisine.
example,
Yeah,
cuisine. Of course, you can use all
cuisine.
them. Well,
Yeah.
let me, okay, now okay. Well, we have actually short part of grammar structure of the day. Okay, it's about famous for, of course, as we talked. We normally, use for after famous, okay, and of course, to be, and after that, famous for example, Vietnam is famous for. Now, if you want to use a noun, it's okay, no matter. You can use, for
Yeah.
example, is famous for coffee. Of sometimes, if you want to use the verb, okay, you need to use gerund or ing form of verb, okay? So, for example, Vietnam is famous for coffee, or for example, uh, Vietnam is famous for driving carefully, something like this,
Okay.
okay?
Yeah.
Something like so. If you want to use the verb, you need to use gerund. Well, now let's do something, okay? Uh, you need to, of course, I want you to choose a city in the world, anywhere, okay? And try to actually tell me why the city is famous, okay? Or what it's famous for, okay? So, which city do you want
Okay.
to talk? You can use gerund,
Oh,
verbs, or noun.
okay. Hmm. Oh, London.
London.
Oh,
Can be anywhere, for example, in Vietnam or other no other countries. Of course, you lived in Japan, so maybe one city in Japan.
yeah. Okay. Um. Okay. Uh. Uh. Kyoto is famous mm, for its cuisine cuisine. Fa-
Just first of all, tell me